A Battle Built here with another video, and today we're actually not getting into some Go Battle League battles, but we are getting into some practice Love Cup Go Battle League battles. As you may know, on Monday at Niantic o'clock, which is 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern, my time, and you probably know what time it is your time by now. The Love Cup portion of the season, also running alongside the Master League Cup portion of the season, will be beginning. Now, I have zero intention of participating in Master League battles, especially because we're being introduced to a nice, unique meta that I'm excited to participate in, which will be known as the Love Cup. The Love Cup, if you don't already know, is a meta that is going to focus around red and pink Pokemon, specifically at the 1500 CP level or lower. I mean, you don't want to get too much lower than 1500 CP. Obviously, you want to power up your Pokemon as close to that as possible. Regardless, great league battles with red and pink Pokemon. And if you want a full list or at least a bunch of options of potential meta Pokemon and what Pokemon to use, I highly recommend you check out PvPoke. I will leave a link in the description of this video for like the specific list of top potential meta Pokemon for Love Cup battles, and I highly recommend you check them out. Now, this was a team of 3 that I decided I wanted to put together for some practice battles. I'm battling up against some of my Discord members and Patreon members, so if you want to potentially be a part of a video like this in the future, the link to my Discord and Patreon are both in the description of this video. Also, highly recommend you check it out. But the team comp that I want to enter Love Cup with is I want to go with Scolipede. Scolipede is going to be big because this meta is looking very double charmish, and if you're sick of double charm, this is the Pokemon that is going to help you eradicate all the charmers and hopefully not make this a charm meta. And one of its biggest weaknesses is going to be Charizard, which is going to be a big player in Love Cup battles. So the team comp is consisting of Scolipede lead and then 2 Charizard counters in the back in the form of Electrode with super effective Volt Switch and Discharge, and Alola Mola with super effective Waterfalls and technically Hydro Pump. Not that I'm expecting to get to too many of those, but Alola Mola is a thick Pokemon. This team comp, honestly, I took a little time, but who knows how well it's really going to perform in actual Love Cup battles. But we have some practice battles just to get a general idea if this is a team you might want to try out when the Love Cup finally begins. Because honestly, I really enjoyed these battles, and this is definitely going to be the team I start with. Now, I apologize for the super long intro. Let's get into these battles. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to the channel as we continue to grow, and support is really appreciated. Okay, so this first match, we have a Scolipede on an Alola Mola lead. Now, this is a lead that Scolipede does win, but you need to land the Sludge Bomb. It's a very close match, and if you don't land the Sludge Bomb, I'm pretty sure you don't win. And my opponent pulls a really good swap to catch a Sludge Bomb on the Slowbro, a shiny Slowbro with the 2021 glasses, which is pretty hype. Unfortunately, does not give any extra powers to the Slowbro, and I do have an answer for that Slowbro in the form of my Electrode. So I'm going to shield their Psychic that comes through, and I'm going to Volt Switch all the way down, because now my Electrode is loaded on energy. Actually, no, I'm not expecting the Alola Mola to come back in. And this is also a double water comp now that I think about it, and they come in with a Clefable. So this works out even better for me, even though Alola Mola is not going to have much of an issue against Charm, and honestly, no Pokemon on this team is really that weak to Charm. So on top of the fact that we're going to be beating up Charmers really hard with Scolipede, nothing on my back line is going to be trying to avoid the Charmers either. And I think we got a shield in this situation, and we also did half the Clefable's damage. So I come back in with Scolipede because that's going to be a much better matchup for me against Clefable, and then they swap immediately back into their Alola Mola. And be prepared for this grueling matchup. This is going to be one of the slower matchups in the Love Cup battles because these waterfalls are resisted, and Alola Mola is a bulky Pokemon. Thankfully, Alola Mola, how many times can I say that? 5 times fast. Thankfully, it has access to something like Psychic, which is going to do neutral damage and will chunk away. It's just going to take a little while to charge up those Psychics to get them off. But I'm feeling pretty good in this situation. I have no intentions of using a shield here. I feel like I can get to my I will get to my Psychic before they get to their next one, so I'll play based on if they decide to shield, or if they let their Alola Mola go down, I'll let mine go down, and then Scolipede will finish off the Clefable in the back. They let their Alola Mola go down, I swap back into Scolipede, and they have a shield, so what I'm just going to do here is instead of throwing a charge move, I'm going to make the play of Poison Jabbing straight down, because if you throw the charge move, you actually do miss out on one quick move, so a little advanced PvP strat there. If I would have lost out, if I would have thrown one of the charge moves, they would have gotten the charm through, my Scolipede technically would have went down. I would have won the match regardless, but just wanted to throw a little piece of information out, help as much as possible. Getting into the next match, this is what Scolipede wants to see. Wigglytuff leads. These poison jabs hurt hard, and if you notice, that charm barely did anything. My opponent safe swaps into Scrafty, And as you learn a meta, and also a team comp, it's kind of hard to figure out how your matchups are going to be. So I decided to stay in with Scolipede, build to a Sludge Bomb, because I know that'll hurt hard, and they actually let it go through. So now I'm feeling really good with Alola Mola in this matchup, because they can throw a Foul Play here, or Power Up Punch, whatever they decide to throw. I will be able to tank it, and then Waterfall down, have some energy for when they come back in with their, what was it, Clefable, Wigglytuff, one of their Charmers. Whatever Charmer it was, they're going to come back in with it. I'm not too worried about it, though, because Alola Mola's tanky. He can really handle its charms. And also, I will be able to get to these Psychics. And honestly, as much as Waterfall doesn't generate energy that quickly, because of how tanky Alola Mola is, it does get to quite a few of them, which is pretty exciting, and I'm hyped to continue using this Pokemon. I actually just built all 3 of these Pokemon specifically for Love Cup, because these aren't really Pokemon to use too often in Great League battles. Maybe Electrode, Alola Mola, and Scolipede, not so much, unless you're trying to get super duper spicy. I know Electrode actually had some play in Kanto Cup, but I was too distracted with Kanto Rapidash at that time to play around with Electrode, which is why I had to make it specifically for this meta. But hopefully I'll find some double use for it in Kanto Cup when that does come back towards the end of this Season 6 season. Now, they come in with a Crustle. I can't come back in with Scolipede here because I'll be taking super effective damage from the Rock Throws. But I'm feeling good because I have the shield advantage, and these Volt Switches are chunking away. Got a tiny bit of lag there, and I'll be able to spam 2 discharges. One will get a shield, one will take out the Crustle. And I'm sitting in a good spot because Scolipede is staying lined up with a Wigglytuff. Now, I took out the Wigglytuff. I'm sorry, I got on such a tangent. Didn't even realize. Regardless, though, we're going to win this match. I get off the next discharge, take out the Crustle. Survive with the shields and my Scolipede alive. Let me know in the comment section what Pokemon you're excited to test out. Anything unique that you wouldn't really see in Great League battles that you're hyped to test in some Love Cup battles. I know certain Pokemon that are going to be pretty meta and pretty hyped to use are going to be the Charmers, Medicham, Charizard, things along those lines. Honestly, I expect Scolipede to probably get a lot of play for the reason why I mentioned it, which is why I'm trying to hop on that content as quick as possible. And if you notice, we actually lost lead here to the downgrade of Charizard, which is Talonflame, but it's still Fire Flying and dealing super effective Fire Spins to my Scolipede, so I need to get the heck out. And on this team comp of 3, I'm feeling like Electrode is a solid safe swap, just because of the fact that it has access to Volt Switch as a quick move. Any extra Volt Switches that you can sneak through really generate energy very quickly and give you an advantage in majority of situations, unless obviously you get super hard countered by your opponent when they swap in. But getting that energy advantage is pretty huge when trying to flip switch advantage in a situation like this. Now, my opponent came in with Lickitung, and unfortunately their Lickitung is not XL, and getting an XL Lickitung is going to be extremely difficult. Their Lickitung is currently at 1382 CP, and hopefully, you know, with the Kanto Tour coming up, maybe they'll be able to get some XLs to invest in it, but I think Love Cup kind of ends around that time, so it's very unfortunate timing. But XL Lickitung will have a lot of play in regular Great League, so if you have a hundo, I think you need a hundo. Considering I'm maxed out at 1382, I'm pretty confident you do. Highly recommend taking advantage of the Kanto Tour ticket and hunting down those Lickitung XL candies. Either way, I was able to keep Switch because my opponent didn't want to shield their Lickitung, and because it's not XL, I was able to take it out. I come back in with Scolipede here, even though the play is, I think, for them to go Iron Head, unless Iron Head is not the recommended move on Wormadam in this meta. But Iron Head, I'm pretty confident is super effective because it's still on Bug. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong about that. But I need to come in with Scolipede because Scolipede is not having a lot of play against either of their Pokemon, and I really needed Alola Mola to take care of this Talonflame the way it is. My opponent did get off a Flame Charge here. I'm very concerned about a Brave Bird, which would have hurt a lot. Alola Mola would have tanked it even though it was boosted, but somehow my opponent didn't get it off. We actually chatted after the match, and I think they just decided... I don't think they necessarily decided not to throw it, but I think they kind of just panicked in that situation and ended up not throwing it. And then I was able to waterfall them down. If they would have gotten that Brave Bird off, I might not have won this match. And you'll notice that all these matches, except for the last one, end up being wins. And I promise you, my Discord members aren't throwing for the content. Like I said, I will always critique and let you know if I would potentially win or lose regardless. I'm not trying to flex or anything like that. These are just some practice battles and trying to get an idea of what the meta is going to look like. And I was really hyped that a lot of the Discord members that I battled use a lot of different picks and unique picks, especially stuff like this Mr. Mime right here. But I think if they get off the Brave Bird there, I just barely survive. Wormadam probably does Confusion me down, and it really depends on what kind of damage Scolipede can do to the Wormadam, which is not going to be great because of Poison Jabs. Everything from Scolipede would be resisted. The X-Scissors would be tough. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure I might have lost there. But regardless, we live and we learn, and that's a lesson to take away from that match. In this match, I'm getting off a Discharge here. I think I safe swapped. Did I safe swap? I don't remember if I won lead or not. I know I had Scolipede on something. We'll probably find out what that's... Oh, it was Scizor. Yeah, no, I lost lead, so that's why I safe swapped into Electrode there. And what my opponent should have done here was double shield their Mr. Mime. They could have won Switch. They would have been at a shield disadvantage, but them keeping Switch would have been huge here because Scizor on Scolipede would have been a really good matchup for them, and instead now I got my Scolipede on their Charmer, which is a really great matchup for me. I'm going to Poison Jab, I'm going to Overfarm, and again, similar to the other match with Scolipede on Scizor, all my moves from Scolipede would have been resisted by the Scizor, so if my opponent would have double shielded there, they would have had a better chance at winning. I would have had shield advantage though, so I might have still been able to pull this one off. Alola might have still came in really clutch with the shield. As you'll notice, I didn't shield. Oh, Bug does not take super effective from Steel. Lesson learned right there. You think I would have remembered that from letting that come through in the match. Either way, it still hits pretty hard. And of course, now that I'm saying it now, people already heard me be incorrect earlier in the video, so I'll be expecting those YouTube comments. But either way, I do appreciate y'all keeping me accountable. I come in with Waterfall. We both have a shield. I come in with Waterfall. I come in with Alola. We both have a shield. I'm able to Waterfall down and win the match. Now, this is a match I really wanted to be able to feature. I'm happy with my opponent here. Ran Charizard lead because Scolipede, again, its biggest weakness is that Charizard. So having the right save swap, being able to flip switch is huge in winning matches where you lose lead in that type of situation. They come in with a Shadow Razor Leafer in the form of Vileplume, and I'm getting really worried this is like some sort of Love Cup version of Grasshole, because Alola does not want to see a second Razor Leafer. The one positive here, because I'm not able to flip switch, is that I at least get shield advantage. I will come back in with my Scolipede, farm them down, which is pretty huge. If they would have thrown a move, I wouldn't have shielded it, because I would have most likely resisted it, depending on what they threw. I don't think Vileplume has access to anything that's not resisted by Scolipede. They come back in with Charizard. They're throwing a charge move here. I'm going to shield. It's going to be a Dragon Claw. They baited me really well, but I know that the Sludge Bomb is still threatening. We get a little bit of lag there. Thankfully, it didn't affect anything. They have to respect the Sludge Bomb. And then I'm going to come in with Alola after. I get the shield, come with Alola, they swap into Scrafty, and this is, I guess, one of those matchups where you do want the second move on Alola, because Psychic would be resisted, because Dark double resists Psychic, and Fighting takes super effective, so it's ends up still being a single resistance for Scrafty. So it's really beneficial to have something like Hydro Pump and having the second move. Unfortunately, Alola is an expensive Pokemon, and that second charge move costs 75,000. I might have still been able to pull this out with just Psychic, because it still would have did a decent chunk. My Waterfalls would have added up, but it definitely makes that match a lot more comfortable. And we pull off another solid practice win. But don't worry, like I said, I'm not trying to impress anybody with the content. I'm just trying to give you an idea of some Love Cup battles. And as we get into the sixth match, we have 6 matches, this match does not go so well for me, and I actually learned an important lesson here. Because Scolipede can win this, does not necessarily mean I should commit to the win, and we're going to find out why in just a moment. Let's wait for this battle to play out. I land the Sludge Bomb again. I'm playing this how I played the other Alola lead in the first match, because I really want to win lead. They're going for a charge move. It's going to be a Psychic. It will take out Scolipede's remaining health, so I want to shield again, committing to winning lead. Usually that means good things in trying to win the match. I overfarm here just because I know I can, and if they decide to shield, I want to be at the next X's right away so I can make them waste the shield essentially. But my opponent decides not to shield there, and then they come in with an Electrode. I didn't even get off my next charge move. My back line is pretty weak to Electrode, considering my only other answer for it would be an Electrode of my own, because Alola, as thick as it is, does not want to see an Electrode. And another thought I had of potentially playing out this matchup was to like play it out a little bit and then save swap into Electrode to get that energy advantage, and hopefully potentially lure out their own Electrode so Alola could avoid it depending on what their last Pokemon is. But because I didn't do that, and they had shield advantage, and their Electrode has energy advantage because it came in and farmed down my Scolipede, I am not sitting in a great spot here. I'm 1 Volt Switch behind. I try to overfarm, and they end up getting another Volt Switch through, which is extremely unfortunate here. And they're going to double shield, making a really smart play in keeping their Electrode safe. I do pull off a really good swap here to catch a foul play from the Electrode, since it'll be neutral, and I guess, I could have just let my own Electrode go down, but at the same time, I'm screwed here no matter what. It doesn't really matter what I decide to do. Whether I cash this foul play or don't cash this foul play, they take out my Electrode. I was also hoping that in case like Alola went to waste, that they wouldn't be able to farm me down like this, and then being able to farm me down, and me pulling that swap ends up biting me because I come back in with my own Electrode, and their Electrode just sweeps my backline completely. I was hoping maybe keeping that extra energy, maybe they had a Charizard or something, and I was able to finally get the Electrode down. Maybe my Electrode can get off a Volt Switch there, and I could potentially win that match, but unfortunately did not work out the way I wanted it to. And one way I could have tried to play it differently was not committing to that lead. And I think when Love Cup Go Battle League battles actually happen, as I continue to use this team and I see Alola Molo leads, because again, this is why practice is great, I'm gonna play it out a little bit, but then save swap into Electrode instead of letting the match go out, because I definitely don't want an opposing Electrode to be in the back and then sweep my back line like it just did. But either way, those were 6 exciting practice battles. Shout out to my patrons, shout out to my Discord members for doing these practice battles with me. I'm really excited for the Love Cup. I'm always excited for a new meta. I'm just very hopeful that Double Charm isn't too prominent in this meta. But I think if you run a team comp like this, we can scare all the double Charmers away, especially with something like Scolipede. As you saw, it really puts in work against the Charmers, does not take a lot of damage from the Charms, and hits really hard with the Poison Jabs. But this is just the first team of 3. I'm sure to put out some Spice content, and if this team doesn't work, I'll put out another meta team that you can hopefully have some success with in case you're still making your last pushes to some legend rank battles. But again, let me know what Pokemon you're excited to test out, what you want to use. Let me know if there's certain Love Cup Pokemon you want to see me try out. I don't have an XL Medicham, but I'm sure somebody will put out a YouTube video on that aside from me, unless I get a shoutcast for it, because XL Medicham is definitely going to be a big player and a Metamon, and also pretty cool just because of the fact it's XL. Might not be fully XL'd, but it probably will be XL'd enough. Anyhow, I'm getting on a complete tangent like I typically do at the end of my videos. I don't really mind it here just because of the fact that I've already talked to you about all the important stuff. But on that note, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.